Speaker for Calgary-Varsity.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm honored to rise today to respond to the speech to the throne. First, I wish to acknowledge that I am speaking today on the territory of Treaty 6. I acknowledge that Alberta is also the traditional home of the Métis people, Region 3. I would like to thank the people of Calgary-Varsity for electing me. I'm honored that you chose me to represent you. I know you have high expectations, as you should, so do I. I will work tirelessly to represent you. I know that you are likely to think about ideas and policies rather than being attached to any political label. I know that I must work very hard to keep your support. Calgary-Varsity is in northwest Calgary, just beyond city centre. It comprises the districts of Silver Springs, Varsity Acres, Village and Estates, Brentwood, Charleswood, Banff Trail, St. Andrews Heights, University Heights, University District, Parkdale, and Point McKay. These communities largely surround McMahon Stadium, the University of Calgary, Foothills Hospital, Alberta Children's Hospital, and the Tom Baker Cancer Centre. Soon we will open the Arthur Child Comprehensive Cancer Centre, a project that was initiated by the Alberta NDP. Calgary-Varsity is home to many educators and healthcare workers. I have lived in the constituency almost all of my life. And while door knocking, I enjoyed finding the parents of my children's classmates and teammates, and even some of my own classmates and teachers. While most constituents of Calgary-Varsity continue to prosper, there are growing numbers of people in our community who are struggling to pay their rent and afford groceries. Seniors, who comprise 20% of constituents, are struggling with high electricity and grocery bills, and many no longer have a family physician. Even those who can afford to pay for a private elective surgery feel the fear that our healthcare system won't be there for them when they have a stroke or a heart attack. Students are more and more relying on food banks, and with housing in such short supply, it was not uncommon to find students who do not even know the names of the other housemates. There are so many packed into a home. The huge increases in tuition have been devastating. There is much work for us to do. I will advocate for all of you. I want to thank the many generous donors who supported me and the volunteers who joined me on this journey. Many came on board more than 2 years before the last election. I appreciate also the help of Harry Chase, who was the Alberta Liberal MLA for Calgary-Varsity from 2004 to 2012. He canvassed with me and shared humorous and thoughtful insights from his years representing Calgary-Varsity. I am also grateful for the support of my many colleagues from across the province, and I am particularly touched to have had the support of many of my former patients throughout all of southern Alberta. Most of them live with multiple sclerosis. I will continue to stand up for you and for the many people who live with disability and chronic disease. I also want to thank my family, especially my sister, who encouraged me to run. And perhaps you, maybe I, can credit her and blame her for this career change. Now, I would like to tell you a little bit about myself. I've been a physician, a leader, and a medical researcher for over 35 years. I've had a highly rewarding and successful career. And yes, it is uncommon for physicians to become politicians, but I came from a very political family. Politics was a regular dinner table discussion through my entire life. My father, Frank Metz, supported the CCF and later the NDP long before I was born. He was a typical grassroots member and was in time honored as a lifetime member of the NDP. My mother, Joan Metz, supported the Progressive Conservatives, and from the time of Peter Lougheed was very involved in the Calgary-Varsity PC Association. However, while my parents supported different teams, respectful political conversation was normal. And it was also a lot more interesting to have differing points of view to discuss at the dinner table. My mother, however, did not remain a conservative. She questioned her support for the PCs during the Klein cuts when she saw the terrible impacts that the aggressive cuts were having on the mental health system. But she really only left the PCs when they dropped the progressive part of their agenda and removed it from their name. She, like many other people I met door knocking, began to vote NDP. I owe a lot to my mother, besides her passion for politics. She was a nurse who became a lawyer when she was in her 40s, and eventually was a Queen's Counsel. She was a feminist. Because of her example, I saw misogyny as a systemic problem that placed hurdles, but not barriers to my dreams. I now see the advantage this gave me, and that rather than get past barriers, I have a responsibility to try to remove them. I know that both of my parents would be very proud of me. Despite my immersion in politics, I never imagined myself running for office. However, the actions of the UCP government since 2019 compelled me to do so. I was motivated to step up when they started their agenda of privatization of healthcare because evidence had already shown that privatization would erode access, be more expensive, and erode patient safety. We have now witnessed that come true. It was, however, when the UCP began to abuse Albertans, and were especially those that make us stronger and smarter, teachers, health professionals, scientists, that I knew I had to stand up for healthcare, education, science, and for a compassionate, inclusive society. I decided to run for public office to offer my knowledge and experience to make Alberta a better place at a time when everything seemed to be regressing. I still honestly believe we can turn it around. My constituents can count on me to advocate for inclusivity, for using evidence-based processes, and for spending wisely. I will speak up when our government spends $80 million on Turkish Tylenol, but gives less than a quarter of that to support our primary care system, which is in crisis. I will speak up when we have solutions in front of us that are being ignored. For example, there is nothing in the throne speech that suggests any real improvements are coming for healthcare, yet it is clear what we need. Examples are even included in the March 2023 report, Modernizing Alberta's Primary Healthcare System. After studying this report behind closed doors for over 6 months, we are told, I will think about it, we will talk about it more. We need action. We saw the Premier's promise to fix healthcare in 90 days, and that has been over a year, and we haven't had a fix. If we use evidence, we can improve our healthcare system. I know we can improve access because I've done it before. In collaboration with primary care in Calgary, I led improvements in neurology to reduce the wait times for routine, non-urgent appointments from 21 months to 4.5 months. There are many other examples of successful improvements in our healthcare system. I'm incredulous that none of these solutions are being implemented. We do not need harmful, costly experiments. We need to act now on evidence-based solutions. I will keep pushing. As a university educator and physician, I have experienced the post-secondary system as well. We need our universities to generate the evidence we need for our future and to educate our future leaders and professionals. We need to assure that education is affordable for everyone, and we need to provide stable funding for our academic institutions. I'm proud to be the voice representing the 45,000 plus people who live in Calgary-Varsity, a community that is filled with thoughtful and generous people who told me they want a better future for themselves, for their children, their grandchildren, and for others. A community that appreciates expertise, collaboration, kindness, and believes in long-term plans. I will stand up for my constituents and for all Albertans. I'm so proud to be part of the Alberta NDP. I'm proud of the expertise and the diversity that we bring, and we will work together to support all Albertans. My family has benefited from excellent public education and healthcare, and I want to give back to the society that has benefited us. We don't want to lose all the gains that have been made. Thank you, Madam Speaker.